With us now, Daniel Levy. He is the president of the U.S. Middle East Project and a former Israeli negotiator. Dan, welcome back. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Hannah.
The president is expected to highlight these new tariffs, his desire to take over Greenland, and possible U.S. involvement in Iran while he's in Davos. It's a busy week for our president. What do you think his overall message to the world will be?
Well, I don't think we should be too surprised, Hannah, if we're treated to a kind of greatest hits of the president's spurious claims. All the peacemaking he has done, not really. All the economic success he has achieved, the effects of his tariffs, again, not really. We may see the board of peace previewed, and will also be treated, I'm sure, to more threats. Iran, Greenland, not sure where else that will be. And of course, these expected housing announcements. I imagine that a lot of people where you are, Hannah, in America, will be asking themselves, well, that's all well and good, but how is that helping me? How's that helping the affordability situation? How is this making America or my pocket better again? And they won't have a good answer to that for an American president who seems more focused elsewhere. I imagine other people will be asking, wait a minute, you're doing all these overseas threats and missions, but we see our troops being deployed on my streets, whether it's Minnesota, Chicago, Los Angeles, and the rest of the world, I think, will be looking at this and saying, yes, America, especially under this unpredictable president, has tremendous disruptive power. They will pay tribute, they will try and shield themselves for this president, but they are also very rapidly, whether it's in Europe, Asia, the Middle East, are drawing the conclusion that we had a fragile international architecture. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't always adhered to, of law, of institutions, of multilateralisms. He is destroying those things, and that is not good for any of us. America isn't going to reassert primacy, and many of them will be doing what the Canadian Prime Minister has done. Actually, we're hedging and we're understanding that China is an important relationship in the future, and we will have to shield ourselves from a dangerous America.
You mentioned Board of Peace. According to The Atlantic, the president is also asking for a $1 billion membership for the Board of Peace. We'll talk about that another time. When it comes to Iran, the Trump administration reinforced all options are on the table. That includes military options. What could he be considering for that deciding factor to go ahead with boots on the ground?
Yeah, Hannah, can't resist it. Board of Peace. Let's just a second look at the language there. The boardroom is not where one makes peace. The boardroom is where one thinks about how you make money. And I think many people look at this and say, this is helping your tech bros, this is helping Wall Street. How is it helping either the people in the US or the rest of the world? Iran, I don't think we are looking at a scenario of boots on the ground. In that respect, I think the president is listening to some of the advice that says this will only end badly, Mr. President. Don't repeat the mistakes in that respect. But I think he is also susceptible to those voices who will misleadingly tell him there's a quick fix, one bang, we can bring down this regime. And the danger there, in addition to very irresponsibly encouraging Iranian people to go out and take risks, we know, we've been told, for instance, by Israel's channels, that there are agitators amongst the protesters. This isn't to absolve the regime, but they've said that the protesters themselves are being infiltrated by people who are killing regime people. So this is only going to get more ugly. And in that respect, what I think we might see, because the president is dialing it up, dialing it down. He uses diplomatic deception. That's understandable. Just when you least think he might strike is precisely when he might do it. But what I fear we might see is an attempt to generate regime collapse, state collapse, chaos in Iran with no plan for the day after, where Iran will be an even greater mess. Think Syria, think Iraq for so many years, think Sudan, Libya, Yemen. And that is precisely how some in the region want it to be. And I think the Israeli side is in that place. But it's not how most of the region and Iran's neighbors want it to be, because they know that the consequences will spill over, whether it's the Gulf, whether it's Turkey, Pakistan, Afghanistan. That is a dangerous place to be. And I hope although I have no confidence that the president won't go there.
Yeah, we've certainly seen power vacuums in those very regions before. You've mentioned Israel. We know the director of Israel's Mossad spy agency is meeting with White House envoy Steve Witkoff in Miami. They want to talk about Iran and possible U.S. military response that you and I are talking about. What kind of influence, Dan, does Israel have on U.S. decision-making regarding Iran?
Look, we know that for many decades now, the Israeli system, this isn't just a Netanyahu thing, although he takes it to a whole new level, was trying to goad and cajole both in its public pressuring and in the kinds of meetings you're talking about of intelligence defense chiefs with the Americans to take action in Iran. This is not a job, so to speak, that Israel can do alone. And we saw that America really had to swing in June when there was that 12-day war and bring this to an end when Israel was running out of interceptor missiles, etc. Our understanding, and the Israelis are being very public, unusually so, about this, is that they want America back in to strike Iran again. They will try to carry the day on that. They do have tremendous influence, especially because this lands in a fertile environment amongst some of those around Trump, but not all, because you have this fight in the MAGA world, interventionist, less interventionist, America first versus Israel first, focus on home versus focus abroad. So I would say it really is game on right now in terms of testing how far that influence goes. One shouldn't underestimate it, but it is not always going to carry the day.
Dan Levy, I always appreciate your analysis and you joining us much earlier in our new time slot. Thank you again, Dan. I hope to see you soon.